Okay, welcome back everyone to another special episode of Yoda's Hut. I'm Bill. I go by Yoda Man on the boards, and once again, I'm joined for commentary by Derek. Hey, Derek, how's it going tonight?
Doing all right.
All right, so we've got another game from the Great Pacific Northwest at Rainy Day Games in Beaverton, Oregon, between Derek, who's on the right in this game, against Mitch 2480 from the boards, who's on the left. Derek is playing a Rebel deck, making use of the new Meditation and Mastery cards. He's got two A Legend Begins, that's the new wedge, two Rogue Squadron Assault, then a bunch of one-ofs. He's got one each of the Alliance's Elite, Heroes and Rebellion, uh, Turning the Tide, Call to Arms, Hoth Operations, and Defense of Yavin 4. And Mitch is playing one of those Ultimate Promise decks, which is a little interesting with his split. He's got Navy Affiliation, two Ultimate Power, the Core Tarkin, two Mission Command, that was the neutral mission set, two Emperor's Promise, that's the Mission Palpatine, two Dark Lord of the Sith, one Agent of the Emperor, and one Council of the Sith. So some interesting decks we're looking at here. Derek, obviously you built the one you're playing on the right, so you can give us insight on that. And Mitch's deck, one of those Ultimate Promise decks, is also going to be neat to see how it plays in this matchup here. So you got any initial thoughts and insight you can give us about your deck and what you expect to see from Mitch?
Mitch likes I've seen him use that neutral pod before. I think he mainly likes it just because the fact that now there's not as many just one faction mono decks. There's a lot more of the split ones. For my deck, I wanted to try the new, the Wedge Pilot, which obviously is good with the fighters from Hobby Set, and then I just had a whole bunch of things I wanted to play, and rather than decide what to use and what not to use, I just tried a bunch of one-ofs and said, "The hell with it, let's see how it works." The only exception would be I clearly should have another Defense of Yavin 4 in there, but I own 3 of them, and the other 2 are in another deck, so...
Yeah.
Make room for something else.
Yeah, so it looks like we got started here. Mitch started with two Emperor's Promises and Dark Lord of the Sith as his floppy. Just played Vader's Meditation Chamber, one of the Stormtrooper Elites, and then an ISB Officer, I think is what those are called, which gains a blast if there's a mission out. And the Stormtrooper Elites are pretty good because they got 3 guns, but they only have 2 health, and he's going to be able to take Force back with it, but that thing is going to get locked down if he fights, and it's a little bit easier to kill. You can just Rebel Assault it off the board. And you start with a decent flop with Rogue Squadron Assault, which lets you draw a card each time you play a fighter or pilot. Call to Arms, which lets you destroy a unit committed to the Force if you destroy an objective with a piloted vehicle. And then Turning the Tide, which lets you take a focus token off of it after you play a Rebel event card. So not too bad of a setup for you, although you probably would like some resources early just to try to get your swarm out here since you don't have Defense of Yavin 4 in your flop.
Yeah, I would much rather have that out there right now.
But you only have one in your deck.
Yeah, Turning the Tide is a pod that I've never had much luck with using, but it's mainly in there because of the cheap units, little one-cost units. That and the fact that I could use Akbar for a resource or Black Tactics if I need him. I would rather right now be sitting there with Call to Arms and Rogue Squadron Assault and Defense of Yavin 4 personally.
Yeah, I could see that. So
I don't think there's a whole lot of events in the deck that I'll end up using. If I remember right. I don't know.
So you just discarded the new Wedge Pilot, so it makes me think you might have a way to get him back.
I think if I remember right, I think I had both copies of him in my hand at this point.
All right, there's the Pilot Ready Room, which lets you discount the first pilot card you play either as a pilot or a regular unit by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. And then you're paying 3 for, what is that, the Gray Squadron Y-Wing there, which has 2 Black Blasts, and it can't be affected by events at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a great guy to have. Great guy to have out there when you play that Desperation.
Yeah, and then I think is that Kill Marker, and what's that do again?
Yeah, that's the one that gives you Edge 1. I think you could put it on, I believe, a speeder or a fighter.
Gotcha. So now your ship has edge 1. Now, since he only has 2 health, the stormtrooper could just take him out unless you've got a way to get 2 damage in. But so you're all focused out. It looks like you're going after Emperor's Promise, which that ability is after you declare an engagement against an objective not named Emperor's Promise, you can deal a damage to a light side objective. So obviously you want to get rid of those as soon as you can.
Yeah, and I have no desire to go after Dark Lord of the Sith either. So
right,
anyway,
that's doing him absolutely no good against your vehicle deck. So
right.
So it looks like you both put edge cards in, and you've put a second one in. You've got edge 1, so he had 3, and you're going to have 5 thanks to your edge 1. You have a target and a stay on target. So it looks like you're going to bring Wedge in as a pilot, and so Wedge gives a black gun and black blast on a fighter or speeder, I think. So you've got 3 blast and 1 gun right now. Do 3 more damage to Emperor's Promise and 1 to the Stormtrooper, although he's going to be able to kill your Gray Squadron Y-Wing, but he's going to have to double focus that trooper to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my Y-Wing, but I got 4 damage on the objective and 1 on the trooper, and he's double focused. So I felt like that was a decent trade-off.
Yep. So the dial went to 3 here, and that's pretty typical in one of these Rebel vehicle rush decks. You're not usually taking the Force. You're just trying to win before the dial gets too high. You're
playing the running game. You're out trying to outrun them.
Yep. And so he just played the Darth Vader from Galactic Ambition. So that's a pretty good thing to play there. And I guess you might want to swing with the ISB guy just to get some cheap damage in on something, since you have nothing out on the board. He's got a clear board to swing at.
Yeah, that Vader's especially good against a deck like this, just because you're always attacking, and he's basically always got that pseudo targeted strike where he can go after exhausted units.
Yeah, so he did go after something with the ISB officer. I think Rogue Squadron Assault, it looks like. So he got a damage on that, and then now it looks like he might commit Vader, which is probably not what he wants to do with that 4 damage on Emperor's Promise, because if you take it out with another piloted vehicle, call to arms will trigger, and you can just kill Vader.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think Mitch misread Call to Arms. He was thinking that it would blow up any unit when I take that out with a piloted unit, not necessarily one committed to the Force. So, I mean, we tend to play pretty casually. I think he figured it out like midway through the next turn, and I let him take it back because he didn't need it to take Force anyway. He already had it, so he didn't have to commit Vader. So
yeah, and well, Call to Arms is one of those pods that was really good when it first came out, and then they nerfed Desperation, which is in it, so people basically stopped playing it as much then, and then certainly when Imperial Entanglements came out and Tarkin arrived along with Moment of Triumph, it really kind of made that deck archetype take a back seat. So I could see if it's been, probably well over a year since that was a big part of the meta, that you might just sort of forget what it does if you haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, there's pretty much everything in that pod is good.
Right.
But although it's not a pod I think I would run 2 of anymore. But I definitely like it as a 1 of in a fighter, pilot, speeder type deck.
Yeah, so let's see what you got in your hand. I look like I saw just like a cheap Y-Wing, and
yeah, I can see the Y-Wing. I can't really make out anything.
I think there's a Rogue Squadron X-Wing, some kind of fake card.
Yeah. Oh, we're about to find out.
Yeah. So there is a Rogue Squadron X-Wing. That's pretty good. You get to draw a card.
Yep. That's one of the best units in the game for its cost.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to get a black gun, black blast. It's got 3 health, and if you put a pilot on there, you can take a pilot off and take off all focus and all damage from it. So
yeah, it's
just
pretty
crazy.
Ridiculous. I think even at 3, he would still be really good instead of costing 2.
Yep, I agree. So if you get a piloted unit out there, you get a pilot on that ship, you can trigger Call to Arms, which would be pretty good.
Yes.
And take out
There's
something.
there's a fair amount of pilots in this deck.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you've got Wedge, obviously. You got two of him. You've got two of Hobby.
I
You've
got the
got
old Wedge too. I
you
got
got
one
the
of
old
him
Wedge. You've got the Gray Squadron, pilot.
pilot, and I got the two from
Heroes
Heroes of
and
the Rebellion.
Heroes of the
So,
Rebellion. You got those two.
so that's 8 pilots right there, I think.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. I mean, you don't really need much more than that. And there
Mm.
is the new Red 2. So I know it's got 3 health and it's got 2 guns and a blast, all black. And what's his ability? It has something to do with like moving tokens or something? Or...
I believe it moves a token from an enhancement to another enhancement controlled by the same player. That happens when you attach a pilot to him, I think,
Okay.
if I remember right.
Hmm.
I had the card laying around here, and now I put it away.
That's all right.
Recently. I don't.
You haven't had a chance still to play with the new sets quite as much as I would have liked to before we're doing this commentary here. I got my pack, but I haven't had to play real games yet. I've played a couple on Octagon, and I think I've only tried this set once, so I'm not sure I even got Red 2 out. So
He's real good with the new Wedge because Wedge, you focus him to move him to another ship. If you move him to Red 2, then he unfocuses Wedge, you can strike, and then move him again.
Right.
Oh.
So you could really use a pilot here. Oh, so let's see. So you've got...
Yeah, I think this is where Mitch is rereading Call to Arms and going, oh, wait, I shouldn't have committed Vader. So.
So it looks like you're playing Ready for Takeoff, which costs 1. So I'm trying to figure out how you're actually paying for that.
It's because I could have done this stuff in any order. Okay. Mitch let me take back and use it with the Turning the Tide.
Okay, gotcha. So it's like you played that first and then pulled the token off so it was free. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like I would have played it before playing Red 5, or Red 2, I guess it is.
And there is Hobby, the Invincible, who never seems to die. And so you can, with Ready for Takeoff, you can pull a unique, or you can pull any number of unique Rebel pilot fighters or speeders from the top 5 cards into your hand. So that can be really good if you got a lot of unique stuff there. And you attached Hobby to the Rogue Squadron X-Wing because when you discard him, or he goes back to hand, basically, unless you discard him in an edge battle. So.
Yeah, he basically, the only way he dies is if you let him die.
Right. Yeah, or pilot Vader's out to cancel his stuff.
Yeah, here's where he let him take back putting Vader on the Force there.
Yeah, that makes sense since unless he's got something in his deck that I'm not thinking of, there's no way he's going to avoid you blowing up Emperor's Promise that has 4 damage on it with that piloted Rogue Squadron X-Wing because he's only going to have 2 guns.
Yeah, so I'll still kill the Stormtrooper with it, but yeah, I'd much rather have had Vader.
Yeah, so it looks like I would assume you're swinging at that Emperor's Promise with the Rogue Squadron X-Wing. And it's a matter, does he want to block or not? I would think no. But that's me. Because if he blocks, you're going to soak up the damage and then take it off, so... Yeah, so you're blowing up Emperor's Promise. You'll trigger Call to Arms and kill the Stormtrooper. So you got 1. And now it looks like you're going to discard Hobby to clear off the Rogue Squadron X-Wing, and Hobby will come back to hand.
Yep.
And I got to think you'll swing again. They both got 3 health.
I can't think of a reason not to.
Yep, and you're sending them in after Emperor's Promise. Now, I don't think there are heated battles in your deck, but if there were, or if you have a way to put another pilot out, man, you're in good shape. You might kill Vader.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So you need another stay on target here, obviously, or a heated battle. So you put 1 in, and he's put 2 in here. You don't have any extra edge stuff this time, though.
Yeah.
So he had a Visage and Secret Objective, and you had to stay on target, so you can put something in.
Mm-hmm.
So his visage, I think, goes off first technically. So he'll get to, since he has a unique Sith unit, he can put a focus token on either one of your units that are in the engagement here.
Yeah, and that should allow him to keep Vader alive at least.
Right. Yeah, I think you focus. I don't know what you focus here. It's about the same. Yeah, I think you focus red two. That's what he did because that's got two guns.
Yeah, well,
If you do
because
it this
it's
way, he
gonna
should
have
only
three
get two.
guns if I'd have put Wedge on it.
And you are going to put wedge on there
Mm-hmm.
and do 2 damage to Vader.
Yep.
Now he won edge, didn't he?
He had 4
Right.
to my
Yes. So he
2.
technically should have struck first, and he looks like he was doing 2 to red 2.
Yeah, I think I actually forgot that I was supposed. That's why
That
we
makes
kind
more
of
sense.
backed
Okay.
up there.
So now you can shoot Vader for 2, and you'll do 2 to the objective,
Mm-hmm.
which you attack Emperor's Promise, I assume.
Yeah.
And now you you can either discard Wedge now, or wait till after the engagement and get 2 damage on Dark Lord of the Sith. I guess it's a matter of, do you want 1 more damage on there? You must be doing that because you put a 3rd damage on Emperor's Promise. So I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah,
You just took it off.
I think I was trying to decide whether or not to do that or to try and do some damage to the 3rd objective there, even though that's going to trigger one back at me.
Right.
Because now I got an open board. It would be 2 more damage at him and 1 at me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You have an interesting call here because if you actually don't strike with the X-wing here, and just call it and don't attack at all again, then you can keep him from getting the 3rd gun on Vader unless he would get a tactics. Yeah, so you are going to discard Wedge and you did go after Dark Lord of the Sith, and then he triggered Dark Emperor's Promise and put it damage on Rogue Squadron X-wing. But now your Rogue Squadron X-wing could just be destroyed by Vader. And he drew ultimate power.
But I think, he's also got the other guy, Red 2, to worry about. So I figured he was going to kill him anyway. So it's lose one or the other. It basically just gives him a choice, but either way, he's only going to kill one of them.
Yeah, but I think I'd much rather have the Rogue Squadron X-wing on the board because you could potentially clear off all that damage with Hobby.
Yeah, because I had Hobby. Yeah, in retrospect, I think I probably should have just not attacked again.
Right. Right, just leave the 2 on Emperor's Promise.
That's also putting a couple damage on my objectives, which could eventually come back to bite me if he ever starts attacking.
Right. Well, and he probably is going to attack now. I would think he would attack. He might attack with Vader to take out the Rogue Squadron X-wing, and he can blow up Rogue Squadron Assault while he's at it. Although he just played Laura the Dark Side, the mission from Mission Palpatine set. And that's after that objective's destroyed. You can take control of a unit that has. Is that 4? I can't remember if that's the 3 or the 4.
That's the 4.
That's the 4. Okay.
Yeah, so, that's the one that says take control of any unit not named Yoda.
Right.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He could send your X-wing back at you. Of course, he has no pilots to really take advantage of it, but
right.
If he did, that would be crazy too. If he had a pilot. And there's Mara. She's good. She may not need to use Vader yet. Or he could just... Yeah, well... Without the shield, he can't. So he's going to attack Called to Arms with the ISB guy. Mm-hmm. And he's switching with Secret Objective back to Lure of the Dark Side. So he'll get a damage...
2 damage from that. Because remember, he gains a blast on a mission.
Right, yeah. 2 damage because he gets the blast. Plus, got 1+1 unopposed.
Yeah, now he can easily take it out.
Yeah, if he wants to. It's only got 5 health, right?
Right.
So he can send Vader after it, basically blow up something and take control of your other unit if he wants to.
Yeah, looks like that's what he's gonna do.
And the dial did go to 5 at the start of his turn, so this is going to put it up to 6. So he's going to take
Hmm.
out your X-wing and I guess take control of the
Yep.
the other ship.
Yeah, I had him switch and put his icons on it, so,
Oh
or
yeah,
his
his tokens. I was going to say, I was
tokens, so
assuming,
we don't
I was
get them
pretty sure it
mixed.
kept the focus and the damage on it. So,
Yeah.
and now he's got Mara, who's a pretty good blocker. As the dial goes to 6 now. I
Yeah,
guess
although
she,
there's a couple damaged locations there, I'd actually be okay with him committing her to the Force.
yeah, that's true. But I think he needs to commit her to the Force so she can get her targeted strike. She can get the shield.
Right.
So, I
And
mean,
that's what I'm saying. I'm actually okay with that.
and actually, he looks like he's swinging at Rogue Squadron, so he's trying to push the tempo here and pray, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think he can do that. He's got 2 objectives with only 3 health. I don't think he can attack with Mara.
He pointed to it, so I thought maybe he was going to attack, but I think you're right. I think you have to leave Mara back on defense, commit her even
Hmm.
though called to arms is out, and then also, then you've got her shield. Even if she dies, she might be able to prevent you from winning just with her. If he can win edge and he's got the shield on there, so.
Yeah.
And plus, if he actually blew up Rogue Squadron Assault, and he just discarded Admiral's orders there, I see. It would have
Yeah.
pushed the dial to 8, which would have meant you could have played Desperation and wipe his board. So
Yep. That
that's the
would
reason
be
not to do
that
it.
would be really nice to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're in pretty good shape here if you can get a ship or two out.
Yeah, I really need, because he can block and put the shield, and then I probably don't kill Mara, so I really need to be able to do 4 damage to 2 different objectives to be able to win, because
Right.
otherwise, wherever I've got the least damage, Mara can block and keep him alive for a turn. And he's got a fair amount of blast out there now. Who knows if I can survive another turn?
Yeah, that's a good point. You might almost have to play a little defense here if you
Because
can.
if he can take out 2 objectives, he's going to win. Because the dial's at 6 now. Even if I took Force, it's going to be at 7, and he's already
Right.
killed 1.
Yeah, but just having some blockers could help
Yeah.
because he's got, he does have a mission out right now, so it won't
Hmm.
matter for the ISB guy. But Vader's got 2 potential blasts. Mara's got 2 potential blasts. Red 2 has 1. And you just played one of is that the B Wings, I guess?
Yeah, that's the
From,
cheap guys from Akbar's set.
yeah. And
The
you got to
one
draw a
constant.
card, so that's not bad.
Hmm.
I see a Y Wing that's got 2 blasts, so.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out how to best do it. Trying to see if there's mathematically a way I can do this.
It's probably going to be tough with the shield and not having guns to take out Mara.
Yeah. What I need is something that tactics are down.
Good luck with that. I'm
Yeah,
not sure there's much in your deck
seeds
in
would be
there.
good right now.
Right, I don't know. Well, if he blocks with her, he'd get the shield so she could shield her.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's seeds in your deck though.
No, but I do have one of that Alliance
Oh yeah,
Elite
but that
thing
thing
with the
costs
R.
5, doesn't it?
Yeah, but there's the little R2 enhancement unit that effectively is like you focus him when
Oh,
the unit strikes, and he puts a focus
oh,
token
that's
on a
right.
unit.
Okay, yeah, that is. I'm like the Alliance ship itself doesn't, but that
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The other guy's the 5 cost guy. He wouldn't do me any good right now.
So you're definitely contemplating your options there. I said, you got hobby. I see the Y wing. I'm trying to make out your other couple cards based on where your hand is. I can't really tell.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm notorious for covering stuff up.
That's all right.
I
And it
think
looks
that
like,
is that R3 unit I was talking about.
okay.
So when that guy gets to strike, I get to place a focus token.
So if you can strike first, that'll help.
Hmm. Yeah, he does only have 2 health, so if I lose edge against Mara, he just dies.
Right. Paying 2 for something. There's the Rogue Squadron X-wing.
Hmm.
Boy, you could use a pilot.
Yeah, we still got hobby, don't I? I think
Yep,
I do.
you do. You just put
No,
wedge on there
I put
instead of
wedge
hobby.
again. Yeah, two more gun, two more blast. Or two blast, two gun total. Actually, yeah, now I'm switching it over there. Because I can remember I could strike and then move wedge over. That's what
Right,
we were talking about there.
right. Yeah, as long as you can strike first.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that ship has another gun and blast now where wedge is.
Yeah, it's got see the black it's the what is it? It's the gun is the white and the black is the blast on the B wing.
Right.
So that means it now has one gun and two blast, plus the focus token when it strikes.
That's not too shabby if you can win an edge
Hmm.
battle.
And then I can move Wedge over to the other X-wing and have 2 and 2 with him as well, plus the ability to double strike.
The question is, how are your edge cards here? That's,
I don't remember. I think I've got my other hobby in my hand too. I might actually have both of them in my hand.
well, if that's the case, that's certainly going to help. So you are going after Emperor's Promise with that B-wing. Basically going to
Yeah.
force him to, is he going to try to block there, or is he going to? I almost think he has to, because otherwise, I think you have a way to win. so, so he's going to block with Mirror and shield Emperor's Promise.
Yeah, I think here I'm counting my damage and I don't have enough to blow up Emperor's Promise.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah. I wonder if I should have sent both of them. And then I guess it depends if I have a stay on target in my hand or not.
Right.
Uh, to where I could have woke up the other X-wing and then moved Wedge over. If I had to stay on target, I think if I'd have done that, then maybe I could have won on
Yeah.
this turn that way, because that would have given me enough. But in fact, I could have struck with the B-wing and then moved Wedge over and struck a second time in the same combat with him.
Right.
Then I would be short, for the other objective. But I guess it depends if I have a stay on target or not.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's,
I know you played at least one. I can't remember if you played your second one too.
yeah, I don't think I've played. I think I've only played one.
For some reason, I thought you did play the second one, but okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right, so there, you both put a card in. He's passing. He knows you have hobbies, so he's got to think that. I think if you're Mitch, you got to assume it's a 3.
Yeah, but if I've got the stay on target, oh yeah, it wouldn't matter because even if Hobby goes in the discard, I could pull him back with the stay on target.
Yeah.
So, and
So,
he knows I can move Wedge over there too if I need to.
so I guess right now you're trying to figure out, does he have more than 3? And he certainly could if he hung on to a Vader or an Emperor, or or even if he has Tarkin or another Mara. I mean, there's lots of things he
Uh
could
huh.
have that could be 3.
Yeah.
So, but this is the only edge battle that really matters to you this turn. So I think you put more stuff in.
Yeah. I don't remember, to tell you the truth, how this one folded out or how it went.
Well, I don't think he's going to get to free anybody up. So
Yeah. I have no idea what we're discussing
it
here.
almost looks
I
like
don't
he's talking
remember.
about, can he win? That's almost what it seems like to me.
Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to figure out if he's got twists or what in his
Right.
deck.
All right. We know he has one because we know he has the council since we've
Yeah.
seen the deck list. So he's put in 4, and it looked like you had more than 4 because I saw a hobby there.
Yeah, I know. I know at least one hobby was there.
All right. So it looks
So,
like you're trying to figure all this stuff out here now. So you got a gun and a blast with wedge.
mhm.
And when you focus to strike, is that when you can use the R2 unit? I can't remember the time.
Yes. Yeah. So, it's gonna do 2 damage to Mara, and think I was like, I might as well let Mara swing. She's not going to kill anything because she only has 1 unit damage. So instead, I put it on
Right, the red
red
too.
2.
So
Yeah.
that seems like a good plan.
hmm
And
Uh,
then
and then I'm gonna slide Wedge over.
makes sense. So now you could take Dark Lord out, but he's going to get an extra damage from Emperor's Promise.
Yeah, I think I was not. I hadn't planned on that. I forgot that
Right.
that's gonna do that much damage. Although I am, I know now I can pitch Wedge and block with.
Oh, and then you thanks to Called to Arms, you were able to blow up Mara. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I had planned on the fact that if I win, if I block with what's his name, the Rogue Squadron there, Vader won't be able to take out that objective. But I forgot that I was going to get 1 extra damage on it from the Emperor's Promise, so now he doesn't need unopposed to take it out with Vader.
Right. And you just flipped up another ultimate power. Now, you can discard Wedge and free up the X-Wing to block, so that's going to help.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was thinking I could block with the X-Wing, and then I wouldn't need the. Then he wouldn't be able to get the unopposed.
Right.
But the fact is, he won't need it now because he got a third damage on there from that Emperor's Promise when I made that final
Right.
attack.
But the dial is just at 8, so he still needs 2 things.
Right.
And you locked down Red 2, and you killed Mara thanks to Call to Arms.
Yeah, I remember thinking I was safe no matter what because I should be able to save that, and now I'm sitting here going, oh, well, if he draws the Super Laser Blast, I'm screwed.
So he just played Assassination Contract. That's the mission
Yeah.
from the neutral set. And what that does, after you destroy it, you get to destroy like something that doesn't match the affiliation card or something.
Yeah, I think it's a non-matching unit.
Right, so he's going after Rogue Squadron, so you're going to discard Wedge to free it up. And
Yep, I'm blocked with him.
Yeah. Of course, that's interesting. He could have passed there and then killed your X-Wing.
No, remember, because now he doesn't have the third gun because I've only got 1 guy.
Right, but if he lets you strike first, you'd have 2 guys focused, and then he'd get the third gun. You'd do 1 more damage on Vader, but then you could kill the X-Wing, and he'd still blow it up with unopposed.
Well, I did put a card in, though. If that card was a heat.
That's true. He's a Y-Wing, it looks like. So he's going to win that edge battle. So he's going to get 2 damage on that and blow up the objective. So that will go to 10, I think. Because he's blown up another one already, and he killed the B-Wing. And then he's going to super laser blast for the win. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's really what it came down to, is that 1 extra point of damage allowed him to blow up that objective, and then the super laser did it.
Yeah, well, super laser is not much you could do.
No, I was thinking that I was okay even if he drew the super laser. But I'd forgotten about that last damage. He never even attacked that objective. It was 1 damage from that little plink on the first turn, and then the other 2 came from the Emperor's Promise hits when I went after Dark Lord of the Sith.
So all right,
it was very, very close.
Yeah, that was a very close game. It came down the end. That's what that deck can do. That super laser blast is still pretty darn good if you can get it to go off, especially when you can take out missions and get some extra bonuses there. So you got any final thoughts about this game before we wrap it up there?
I'm still kind of surprised that he prefers that neutral pod over running Bach. I mean, I'd rather have the Dark Genocide and the Sith lightsaber and that stuff. And Bach's ability to get strong against missions is even better.
Yeah.
So
it worked for him.
And it worked. I mean, he didn't play anything from that set other than the mission right there at the end anyway, so I guess it really didn't have any impact.
Yep, exactly. All right.
But it was close.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch, and appreciate you guys playing it and shout out to Rainy Day Games for letting you guys record the games and stuff. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me for commentary as always, Derek. Appreciate it.
Yep, anytime.